Have you ever heard that the most powerful weapon in the world isn't a sword or a bomb, but a simple whisper? Today, we're diving into an ancient story that reveals the terrifying power of provocation. A story about two souls bound together, who are ultimately torn apart by suspicion. It all begins in the time of the Buddha. A woman deeply devoted to her husband served him with unwavering loyalty. One day, while making offerings, she made a heartfelt wish. She prayed that in their next life, she could be reborn as a man, a brother to her husband. She even added a strange condition. If they were ever to make a mistake and be reborn as mythical creatures, they should have two heads on a single body. The Buddha blessed her wish, and so it happened. After they passed from that life, they were not reborn as humans. Instead, they became a magnificent single creature, a golden swan with two heads, one body, 4 wings, and 4 legs. They lived peacefully in the mystical Himavanta forest, sharing every moment, every meal, never once arguing. They were two minds in perfect harmony, a symbol of unbreakable unity. One day, a forest ranger stumbled upon this breathtaking sight. He couldn't believe his eyes. He rushed back to the city of Benares to tell the king about the wondrous two-headed golden swan. The king, who was a bodhisattva, a being on the path to enlightenment, was intrigued. He ordered the ranger to capture the swan and bring it to the palace. The ranger succeeded, and the king was overjoyed. He rewarded the ranger generously and entrusted the beautiful creature to his queen. She had a golden cage crafted for the swan and fed it the finest honey and nectar from a golden plate. The two-headed swan became the jewel of the palace, a living marvel. For a time all was well. But then, a celestial being, a deva, appeared before the king with a suggestion. The deva said, "Your Majesty, imagine if these two heads could be separated. You could keep one swan in the palace and place the other in a zoo for all your subjects to admire. Wouldn't that be wonderful?" The king considered this. The idea of sharing this marvel with his people appealed to him. So he gathered all the wise people of his court and made a proclamation. "To anyone who can separate the two-headed swan without harming it, I will grant great rewards." Many tried and failed. The bond between the two halves seemed absolute. Then, a clever and cunning man stepped forward. He confidently told the king that he could accomplish the task. The king, eager to see the result, entrusted the golden swan to him. This man's plan was not one of force, but of psychological warfare. The next day, he went to the swan's cage. He leaned in close to one of the heads and whispered, making it seem like he was sharing a profound secret. Then, he simply walked away. The other head, having seen this exchange, was immediately filled with suspicion. It turned to its other half and asked, "What did that man whisper to you? What was the secret?" The first head replied honestly, "He didn't say anything. He just made a whispering sound, but I heard no words." But the seed of doubt had been planted. The second head didn't believe it. "Don't hide things from me. I saw him with my own eyes, whispering right into your ear. You must tell me what he said." No matter how much the first head insisted it heard nothing, the other refused to believe it. A small crack had appeared in their perfect unity. The next day, the cunning man returned and did the exact same thing, whispering into the same head's ear. The second head's suspicion boiled over into anger. He did it again. "You're keeping secrets from me. We share a body. How can you have secrets?" The first head grew frustrated. "I'm telling you the truth. I heard nothing. Why do you keep accusing me?" From that day on, their harmony was shattered. The constant questioning turned into bickering. The bickering escalated into heated arguments. They, who had never disagreed, now couldn't stand each other. Their love and trust were replaced by resentment and paranoia. The whispers of the cunning man had become a deafening roar in their minds. The conflict reached a breaking point. In a fit of rage, they began to attack each other, pecking and beating their wings furiously. Their anger was so immense, so powerful, that the very force of their struggle tore their shared body in two. The single, magnificent golden swan was no more. There were now two separate, wounded swans, their golden feathers stained by their own conflict. The cunning man calmly collected the two separated swans and presented them to the king. The king was amazed, and as promised, rewarded him with a piece of land. But the king was also deeply troubled. He asked the man, "What magic did you use? What incredible power could sever a bond that seemed eternal?" The man bowed and explained his simple yet devastatingly effective method. He described how he had done nothing but create the illusion of a secret, planting a seed of doubt that he knew would grow into a forest of mistrust. Hearing this, the king was struck with a profound realization. He said with a heavy heart, "Oh, what a dangerous game you play. Your weapon was not steel, but suggestion, provocation. It can tear apart not just physical things, but the very fabric of trust and love. There is truly no weapon in this world more powerful, more destructive, than incitement." This story serves as a timeless warning. It shows how easily the strongest bonds can be broken, not by external force, but by internal doubt. A whisper of suspicion can be more damaging than a physical blow. It teaches us the importance of unwavering trust and open communication. When we allow doubt to fester, when we listen to the whispers of those who seek to divide us, we risk tearing apart the very things we hold most dear. The story of the two-headed swan is a powerful metaphor for our own relationships. In families, friendships, and even entire communities, the poison of provocation and suspicion can cause irreparable harm. It reminds us to cherish trust, to communicate honestly, and to be wary of the subtle whispers that aim to turn us against each other. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into an ancient tale. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that make us think. Let me know in the comments what you think is the strongest bond in the world. Until next time, stay curious and stay connected.